Hey everybody, this is Bob again with CTCS Inc., your safety and management specialist. Just kind of want to touch base on return on investment today in business planning. Right now is a fantastic time to jump into the trucking industry. I say that because freight is up. But what happens when freight's down? Well, a couple months ago, you saw people marching on Washington, complaining about brokers and price fixing and you name it. It really didn't change anything. What changed anything is the market flipped. Nothing to do with the brokers. This market in the trucking industry is always up and down. Those that are affected the most are the guys that do not know how to book their own freight, get their own direct customers, map their own routes, dispatch themselves, and are living off of spot loads in the load board. I'm going to show you the largest load board in the nation today and how freight is priced right now because it's pretty incredible. And this is a reminder basically of 2018. 2018, I guess the end of 17 all through 18, freight was up, people were jumping in the industry, and I can tell you just like this. IC 400, roughly, MC authorities come through the FMCSA every day, okay? Right now, that's a pretty good pace, and the reason the pace is so good and people are jumping in is because they know that the market is here and that loads and freight are up. 2 months ago, it wasn't that way. 2 months ago, freight was down. It was tough to even get $1.80 a mile out there. Now we're seeing $3 a mile on the load boards. Means my grandma, as Shaggy would say, who's blind and also deaf and can barely talk on the phone, could probably book you loads and get you out there making about $7 grand a week in your truck off of the load boards. Okay, I'm going to show you those load boards here real quick so that everybody kind of gets a view of it. And let me get to the right page. Bear with me. And so here you go. This is DAT. We know that this is the largest load board in the nation. And just look at the right at the top there. If I'm in New Jersey, why wouldn't I haul this freight 155 miles for $550? And especially if I had a little pickup to run my route out and get myself back home next week, that's $3.50 a mile. Okay, right there. And then you pick up other loads. I can spot load this out. Here's the load coming up in, from New Jersey to Georgia. What is that paying? Well, I'd have to probably call on that load. Okay, but you can look at this here, and there's a lot of $3 a mile freight in this board. There's 2,464 results, and freight is plentiful. Trucks are on scarce right now, so that drives up the freight. Supply and demand, that's the capital way. Supply and demand runs this trucking industry. So it's going to be up and down for all you guys that are jumping into the industry saying, oh, you know what, I'm going to get in because freight's up, and then when it goes down, you'll be crying to Washington. So understand that the load board freight is not as consistent as if you go get your own direct customers and shippers. Okay? When you join our Facebook group and you join G3's group and you learn how to gain your customers, government freight, dedicated freight lanes, you will have a sustainable model. You have to build, in a trucking company, you want to build something that's duplicatable. That's why at our Facebook group here at Shaggy's Consulting and Training, you're going to see that basically we are the component that is safety and management, but Shaggy does all the teaching training on shipping, brokers, freight building, dispatching your own truck, owning a trucking company, and right here is where you're going to see all that. We're the safety arm of this, but Shaggy is the backbone. And you can see right here, Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. We have a lot of members, but this is a teaching site. He books himself out. We have people that you get your authority through. We have a very lively group, and here's Shaggy himself. Just talking during the day. I was just on this show earlier today. We were talking about diversifying income. So we're talking about return on investment, doing the right thing with the trucking company. You have to have a model that is duplicatable. I don't care what business you're in. You don't open up a restaurant without knowing who your competition is, if they're close to your location. If the location is hot for restaurants, you don't, just because you can cook well doesn't make you a good business owner. You need to set your plan. Right now, it's a good time to jump in because the money will return quicker than at other times during this past year, because in 2019, freight went down and a lot of people went out of business. And at the beginning of 2020, it was still carrying that way, then COVID hit. Now we're seeing an upswing in the rates. What does that mean? It means I can jump into trucking if I set the right model, get the right contacts, do the right networking, build my business. I'm going to have dedicated freight lanes that do not fluctuate. You can ask Frank G at G3 Trucking, okay? He'll be in here somewhere. Let me see. That's me. That's more personal stuff. But Frank G's down in here. I'll probably just find him here. And you'll see Frank has been doing this since 1976, I believe. Okay, G3 Services. He builds out trucks. They've got a trucking company. All right. And basically, they help guys get government freight, learn how to do this. Want to be an owner-operator? He can even put you in a truck. He can help you out with leases. Everything in this group is all about helping you guys to succeed. So don't be fooled by some YouTube guru. Here's Trucker G, by the way. Okay, he's got 10,000 some odd followers. He and his wife and Mrs. G, they're on Facebook all the time posting in our groups. Why? Because they want to help drivers to succeed. So understand, when you come join Shaggy's Consulting and Training on Facebook, you're getting the best of the best in the group here. We will spend time with you. We don't ask for your money. We try to help. We all provide a service, and when you're ready for that service, then at the end of the day, you'll come to us and we'll provide the service that's needed. Nothing more, nothing less. Everybody's here to be beneficial to the trucking industry. We're tired of watching people jump in, try to get rich quick, failing, having to get out, lease on to somebody else, give up their trailers or trucks on pennies on the dollar because, you know, they thought the freight was going to always be there. They didn't plan right. We set companies up from the ground up with website development, branding. We set them up with safety, compliance, everything that has to do with FMCSA. We even have a dedicated software to managing the assets, to managing the preventative maintenance, your DVIRs. It notifies you on roadside inspections. Okay, guy goes through a roadside inspection, we'll notify you quicker than the FMCSA will update, so you know how to deal with those drivers. It's all about setting up your foundation, guys. You didn't build a house from the roof down, you build it from the ground up or the foundation up, and you set up the rooms to be duplicatable or customized as you go, you know, but duplicatable. You want a program that you can repeat time and time again. I don't care if you want to run from 1 to 5 trucks or 1 to 100 trucks or 500 trucks. You have to have a process in place that you are able to replicate and bring in and keep things in order. If you get to 500 trucks, obviously you're hiring a safety manager, but you start with the education on gaining your freight. You start with the proper networking and relationships to get you where you need to be. There should be no other way you guys go. Set up your business plan, give us a call, we'll consult. Look us up at CTCS on Shaggy's group or CTCS on Facebook. Call us at 888-493-3152. We'll talk to you. It's a free consultation. The key is to get you to understand how to set up a trucking company. Like I said, Rome isn't built in a day. Foundations are strong. You'll succeed. But if you come in this and jump in this while the market's so good, and you're seeing this DAT load board and 1, 2, 3 load boards and, you know, all truck stop, you're seeing all these guys with all this excess freight, that should tell you something. Freight's easy to come by right now, but it does not stay that way. It goes up and down with the market, with the way things go, and there's a lot of mitigating factors. If we have a hurricane, Houston to Florida, basically you're going to see a change in freight. It's going to be to the upside, okay? Because again, trucks will be in demand. So you want to set yourself up during this uptime so that you can have the longevity during the downtime without it affecting your money, and that's where Frank G comes in. I mean, honestly, he's been doing it again since 1976. He's got a brokerage, a trucking company, and he don't care what the market's doing because his freight is always consistent. He always keeps his trucks moving. His money is always coming in. So make sure you're talking to us over here. Shaggy, Frank, Bob. We have Cornerstone Insurance with Nick and Alex. Penny for getting your authority, 30 years in the business for getting your authority off the ground. Don't hesitate to come into the industry, but do it the right way, guys. I hope this is educational and helpful to you. I'm going to be sharing this on multiple channels. So let's hope that, you know, again, that I was helpful. Take care, y'all.